Last year, I finally got around to watching American Psycho. I'd seen it everywhere online for years, through TikTok, edits, memes, etc. So when it played randomly on TV, I knew I'd better see what all the hype was about. Plus, I adore Christian Bale. Anything he's in, I'm watching. Before I go any further, I just want to give a heads up. This review will have spoilers. American Psycho is a satire of masculinity, and it also pokes fun at corporate American culture. It was surprisingly funnier than I would have thought. Murder is never funny, obviously, but even the murders were so over the top that I think it's very obvious it's meant to be satirical. Before watching the film, my exposure to American Psycho was primarily through scene clips on YouTube and alpha male edits on social media. Ironically, these edits tend to feature characters that are clearly satirical depictions of masculinity, not blueprints. Fight Club and Wolf of Wall Street are also examples of this. In American Psycho, all the men sit around talking poorly about women and minorities. Everyone has the same suits, the same hair. They're all cheating on their partners, and seriously, all their business cards look the same. They're constantly mistaken for one another. Paul Allen, for example, mistakes Patrick for Marcus Halberstrom, who works at the same office doing the same job as Patrick. They all do the same job, actually, which is evident from their business cards. Later on, Patrick says that Paul Allen is in London to cover up the fact that he killed him. But then, everyone else swears they saw Paul Allen in London too. We know Patrick was lying, but what about everyone else? Could they be mistaking someone else for Paul Allen? One theory I've seen from a YouTube comment is that Patrick didn't actually kill Paul Allen, but since they're apparently indistinguishable from one another, maybe he actually killed someone else. It's something to chew on. Still, Patrick's sad fate is that he's no different than the others around him. Crashing out because there was no significant reaction to his killing spree was the pinnacle of his desire for attention, but in reality, he was just another Wall Street guy. Patrick says he doesn't feel any emotion, and that he's only masquerading by putting on as many human-like qualities as possible. But I don't think he's only doing it to seem normal. I think he wants to feel a sense of normalcy. He literally says, "I want no one to escape, but even after admitting this, there was no catharsis. My punishment continues to elude me, and I gain no deeper knowledge of myself. No new knowledge can be extracted from my telling. This confession has meant nothing." He says he wants some kind of relief for the pain, the emptiness inside. Clearly, being rich doesn't work, sex doesn't work, and murder doesn't work. Even confessing, which is objectively the right thing to do, didn't bring him relief. I'm not sure if he actually felt remorse, but I think he wanted to because he felt that he was supposed to. Instead, he realizes everyone around him is just as soulless as he is, if not more so. They're all pretending. This makes the scene where Patrick's lawyer refuses to acknowledge Patrick's confession and instead repeating Patrick's own lie back to him about Paul Allen being in London even more chilling. Or the scene where Patrick goes to the apartment and the bodies of his victims are gone and the real estate agent denies ever seeing them. In her eyes, you can see that she is warning him not to ask any more questions. Plus, it's the first time Patrick seems to have met someone who actually scares him. I think these two scenes, with the lawyer and the real estate agent, symbolizes what often happens with extremely wealthy people. Just like in real life, they lie for themselves and their peers. They cover up one another's crimes when they should receive consequences. American Psycho simply puts a microscope up to the environment cultivated by corporate and capitalistic culture. It takes everything to the extreme to show how absurd it all really is. I certainly don't mean to create sympathy for Patrick Bateman. He is quite literally a murderer and a psychopath. But looking at the larger picture, he is just one psycho in a sea of them. This parallels the way that hustle and 9-to-5 corporate culture can warp our minds. We buy into the look, the money, and the lifestyle just to end up becoming identical cogs in the machine. Paul Allen, Patrick Bateman, who cares? Your business card better be in tip-top shape and your job better at least seem important, or you'll be left behind. Corporate culture definitely isn't what it used to be, especially with the fact that 1, it's harder to find corporate jobs at all, and 2, with social media creating opportunities to work freelance or as an influencer. But the effects are the same, particularly when it comes to how social media influences masculinity. Society says in order to be a real man, there is a clear set of rules to follow, but often those rules are rooted in toxic masculinity. This is what Patrick and his peers do in their off time. Just like the film, it ends up creating clones that perpetuate the same toxic masculinity, influencing young men to do the same, and the cycle continues. That's why all Patrick's co-workers take great pains to conform. The scene where they compare business cards is striking because it's a clear representation of their need to outdo one another while still being virtually the same. They're conforming in an effort to stand out. The genius and horror of American Psycho is that Patrick's lack of catharsis doesn't matter. Everyone around Patrick is also pretending to be normal, and he is not special at all, which is much scarier. Overall, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 stars, and I will absolutely be reading the book. It has been quite a while since I made a video on this channel, but I'm definitely trying to get back into it. I've seen so many new movies lately, so I'm basically just trying to decide which one to do next. But have you seen American Psycho? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.